It just took everyone by surprise because he was a hard-working guy. He did always keep to himself at work, but when the work was there, he was a really tough bloke who did everything that was called on.
Both had young families. One was 24, had 2 little kids. Just would have been nice to know something back then. Maybe could have picked up a sign.
Most people in the construction industry know these stories are not rare. A study has shown that construction workers are on average more likely to suicide than other men in Australia. A construction worker is 6 times more likely to die from suicide than from an accident at work. Our construction apprentices have been found to have a suicide rate 2.5 times higher than other young men in Australia.
Strangely enough, just before we heard about the Mates in Construction set up, a co-worker at our depot, without any warning, took his own life after work one day. It just took everyone by surprise.
You know, looking back to my first session with Mates in Construction, had I been able to identify the signs, you know, I'm not saying we would have, but there's a good chance we could have prevented that from happening.
Now that Mates in Construction have come and played and the word's got out there, you know, everyone knows that they've got their mates to back them up.
But yeah, there's definitely a let's look after each other sort of attitude out there, I'd like to believe.
Yeah, no, I didn't know, but yeah, I suppose it's a big percentage in apprentices. Like the most people that do commit suicide are apprentices. So yeah, I had no clue, actually.
I never knew that suicide in the construction industry was such a big issue until I went to my first Mates in Construction meeting, and from then on I've been a lot enlightened about how much of suicide is a big deal in the construction industry.
One of our workmates rang me up and said, look, I think one of our operators is struggling a bit, sitting down at lunchtime, and he was getting pretty emotional. Really, could you give him a call? So I gave him a ring, and I said how he was travelling and whatnot, and he said, look, he was okay, but it just didn't sound right in his voice. And I said, listen mate, do you want us to come around and have a chat? Anyway, myself and Trevor went around there. We spent 3.5 hours with him, and it really got emotional. We started talking about his life and where he was at, because his wife was going to leave him. He was in financial sort of strife and whatnot. Through our training, we just asked him if he was thinking of completing suicide. He actually had a plan for that night. He had the hose. He was going to gas himself in his car. It was all there ready to go that very night. Got him through some tough times, and this program and this awareness stuff that we're doing and we got involved with Mates, it's just really opened it up, and I think it just saved it. And as it is now, this guy's still with us, thank God, and without the training and having the knowledge and the skills to be able to do this, you know, he may not be with us now, but luckily he is, so it's certainly helped there.
This is a new thing to me, because coming up to Queensland from Victoria, I didn't know about it until I came here, and it's been pushed by our state manager here, which is a good thing. And listening to the introduction today, I think it's very, very beneficial, and it should be introduced right across nationally.
Being a manager of a construction company now, we're not only responsible for our workers' physical health, but we're also responsible for their mental health. It's probably the only program that I've seen being rolled out that has mutual benefits for the workers on site and management. There's no hidden agendas with Mates in Construction. It's all about suicide prevention, and you know, as a program I support it 100%.
The membership are saying that Mates in Construction should have happened many years ago. For builders or sites where they have Mates in Construction, I think it sends a clear message that straight away the company or the builder or the principal contractor has a heart and actually cares for their workforce. If they do that, then all the other aspects of the job about safety, etc. Will follow.
This industry is about people, and we're a people industry, and everyone has a responsibility to help their mate. Historically, BERT has been about the member, in the main, the male in the industry. One of the things that Mates in Construction have allowed us to do is to move into the family environment, because building workers work hard, they work long hours, and they suffer stress, and as a result we see, unfortunately, the suicides and the self-harm.
Men find it very difficult to reach out for help or to go and see professionals. Most of them would be scathing of professionals, generally speaking. And also I think that they have trouble recognising their own feelings and putting them together to make some kind of sense of them, to the point where they might say, oh gee, I really need help, where do I go? I think what MATES does is, in providing the initial education, the general awareness training, it allows people to go, hey, this could be me. So I think it actually solves the help-seeking problem in the best way that I have ever seen. Don't just ignore it. If you ignore it, it could be fatal.
Well, the unique feature that I see about mates in construction is the level of engagement we've been able to get within the industry. The foundation idea really of building mates in construction, and I was in at the start, was to be able to utilise the existing structures that existed within the industry, that being the union delegates, the workplace health and safety delegates, and the management structures within the industry. I think that's the standout, the level of engagement.
I'm a scaffolder on site, yep. You hear about it a lot. We lost one of our boys about 3 weeks ago, actually. Pretty much just due to work-related stress. Men can talk, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to bottle it all up. You can come to work and open up to your mates, because you spend more time with these boys than you do at home, really, when it comes down to it. I think it just creates, I don't know if people are actually talking more, but it creates the awareness that you can go and talk to people, you know what I mean? So that you can offer help, whereas before, instead of laughing at someone, you will take it a bit more seriously, sort of thing. You can't have someone that's standing up there that's never been in the industry before telling you how the industry guys are kind of going to act, sort of thing, whereas actually having people that do know what you're going through, know the pain that you're going through, know the different problems that are coming up with your family life, with all sorts of things due to construction, it makes it all relevant.